Welcome everyone to Spilling the Tea with Estee and Marlene, where we serve the hottest tea. Join me and my baby stripper voice.
And me welcoming you all to eavesdrop onto our uncensored opinions. This platform is used to inform, laugh, and potentially inspire others to speak out about things we may all be thinking about but are too afraid to say out loud.
And don't forget, babes, if the shoe fits, wear it.
Welcome back to Spilling the Tea with Estee and Marlene. We are yet back with another great and interesting topic that may pique your interest.
Yes.
First off, we talked a lot of shit about social media last time.
We did.
Do you want to add any more shit talking?
Do I want to add any more?
Do you have a funny story about social media?
Like, I stalked my ex on social media, and I found out he was not doing what he was supposed to.
Mm-hmm. I guess social media could be a good tool in some way.
Yeah.
So you caught him doing something else that he said that he was doing?
He said he went to the Hamptons with a couple of friends last minute. And then when I saw the tag pictures that people posted, not him, it was a huge crew. It was like 25 people crew.
And you were not invited?
I was not invited, which I didn't care to be invited. It was just like, don't lie to me. Like, to get a house for 25 people, it's not last minute. This was like planned out.
Pre-planned.
And then your ex was there. That was the part.
Oh, not the ex.
So yeah, so I found that crazy shit on social media.
Social media could be a good tool in some way.
Yeah.
All right. So this week we are talking about how to survive and thrive in your 20s. So I'm very much of an analytical person, and I was watching all the analytics for the demographic that watches us and hear us. And like about 30% of our viewers are in the 20s.
And we want to help you.
And I think if you guys can listen to us on everything we've learned in our past, it would be very helpful. And these are just not for your 20s, but also for your 30s, because we're always growing. We are in a group that we always want to grow.
Yeah.
So, but one thing I want to point out that I thought would be a little different would be for us to write our 20-year-old selves a short letter on the lessons that we could learn from. So I'll go first and then you'll go.
Okay. Let me get mine ready.
All right. So, dear 20-year-old Marlene, Marlene, or Marlencita, however you guys want to call me, because I get all of them. You are so hard on yourself. You were taught that you have to be a great daughter, sister, partner, and respectful to all your elders. But we'll discover that before you were great to others, the first person you need to take care of is yourself. You will encounter some challenges that will test you like college, but you will find your way. You just need to focus. Your biggest asset is your thrive to achieve those goals, and also your biggest challenge. Take time to enjoy yourself and find yourself. Take care of your hair. Don't kill your curls. Write down all of your parents' sayings, because these are treasures that can be passed down to your children.
Okay, that's sweet.
Yeah.
Did you take care of your hair?
I mean, we got back to the curls.
Okay.
But back in my 20s, I was definitely like not taking care of my hair. It was crunchy. So yeah.
All right, so now I'm gonna go. Okay, so dear Esty, please be patient with yourself. Everything you want is coming. You just need to be patient. I was very impatient. Like, I wanted everything like at the very moment. Like, I graduated college and I wanted the job right there. Try not to overthink and be in your head. Just be you, because you are more than enough. Do not be afraid to go after your dreams, and don't worry about what people might be thinking. Nobody has to sleep with you aside from you. Also, please travel more and take a deep breath when you enjoy life.
Oh, that was nice.
And also, back then you were in fat.
That's so true though. When you think about it, you're like, oh my God, I was like big and I need to lose weight and shit. And then you wish you were back to that weight. So please stop being hard on yourself.
Yeah. You're not fat, babes.
You're just a little chunky.
In the right places.
Exactly. So those are small little letters for ourselves. So even if you're not in your 20s and you want to take this exercise and write to yourself as well, please do.
Yeah.
Because it's necessary to look back at everything you have accomplished, especially for people like us that were like, all right, we did this, on to the next. We'd never get to enjoy that.
Yeah, I was saying that, like, once I have a goal and I achieve it, like, I don't have time to, like, enjoy it. I'm just like, what's the next thing I need to, like, climb? And I feel like that's a good way. That's good because I am very motivated and ambitious, but I also need to, like, pat myself on the back for everything that I have achieved.
Of course. Would you say there's, like, one specific lesson that you have taken away from your 20s?
Oh, I had so many. What is one big lesson? I think it's just, like, it was like, oh, just don't overthink and just do whatever I want. I've been wanting to do a podcast since I was, like, when podcasting came out, like 2015. It is 2023. Okay?
Damn.
That was a lot of procrastinating and a lot of years of self-doubt.
I think procrastination is a big downfall for a lot of people, especially for me in college. I was a big procrastinator, and then I used to get upset when I used to get, like, not the best grade. So that's one thing. And also, I remember when I was in my 20s, I was going to college, online college. I was working a full-time job. I was a manager at a place. I used to do an internship so I could get my foot into the industry that I wanted to be in. And then I also used to take one day out of the weekend, either a Saturday or Sunday, and I used to help my dad at the bodega and get paid off the work. I used to do all of that.
Yeah.
I'm out of control.
That's a lot. I'm exhausted just thinking about it. But I also
that used
did
to be my life.
Sorry, I also did the same thing. Like, I worked full-time, and then I went to college, not online, in person, Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I worked every other day after that. And I would go to college, like, it was from like 9 a.m. to like 6 p.m. Like, every class I took those 2 days. And then I would do all my homework. I would work. I would go clubbing. Like, I did everything.
Yo, having the balance of social life, college life, and still having an income, especially like in NYC, is ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
When I have kids, I really want to be in a stage in life where I can have them go away to school, if that's what they want to do.
Yeah.
But I think that would be like an experience, like, where they don't have to worry about bills and shit like that.
I would also, if I can afford to, I would like to have them not work during the school year and fully focus on, like, their education. Because I think when it came to me, like, I was already making money, that, like, education was not my main priority. My main priority was, like, I need to get this money.
I need to get this bread.
Yeah.
Would you... Well, what was the lesson? Just, like, believe in yourself.
Just believe in myself and don't overthink it. I think I overthought too much of, like, what are people gonna say? What are people gonna think? Like, and, like, I never pushed myself out of my comfort zone until I got to my 30s. Maybe like 29 was like a little like going over, but like I didn't really start taking myself out of my comfort zone until I was 30 years old for real.
I feel like 30s is a great decade.
Yeah. I mean, I really gave zero fucks, like, once I turned 30.
No, yeah.
And when it came to, like, podcasts, or, like, when I did YouTube for a little bit, like, I gave myself deadlines and, like, you have to do this no matter how perfect it is, because I always want everything to be, like, super perfect, and nothing ever is. And I think the things that are more beautiful and enjoyable are the non-perfect things. Like, I think what people enjoy about our podcast is that we forget to turn our mics on.
Or and now, like, I'm paranoid.
Or, like, that our camera doesn't work half the time.
I mean,
I think, like,
it's a learning curve.
People like that it's not, like, perfect and super polished. So I think I learned to accept that and the flaws, and, like, all of that I learned to accept and, like, just make it work for me, as opposed to just, like, being afraid of it.
I feel like that comes with time.
An age.
An age and growing pains, because I feel like I would be a lot more sheltered to do things in my early 20s, like believe in myself, than after. Like I feel like when I was like 25 to 30, I was coming out of my shell more.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just doing, but I was also very career driven. I was like, all right, I went to school for this. I need to get myself into my foot into this. I even took a pay cut to get into the industry that I went to school for until I was able to establish myself.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it's one thing that I could say to anybody that's going through college is do a motherfucking intern. It helps. Like, it helps 100%. I think customer service jobs are great because I hire people with a lot of customer service experience, but internships work. Like, if you have the time, don't think that it's a waste of time. It's not. If people will take that in consideration and be like, oh, she worked at a very big law firm or whatever, and or a big like a Vogue magazine, like that's something to have on your resume. Another thing that I always tell everybody is date a lot.
Yeah.
A lot, people. Don't hold yourself back on one person.
That I can say I did.
I did that too.
I thrived.
I did breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah, I used to like double date. Like, not double date, double book. I used to go out for happy hour with one guy, and then I'll meet the other guy for dinner.
Were you ever caught?
I was never caught.
Ooh. What would you say to leave the first date?
I usually would meet for like happy hour, and I'll be like, oh, I can meet you for a couple, like a drink or two, but I have to go to a friend's party, or I have to go to like I have something right after, but I can meet you before. And I really liked you, then I would go to the bathroom and cancel on the second guy on the second shift, and I would come back to the first guy and be like, you know what, my friend, like, you know, like she's not really feeling it, so I can stay out. But yeah, I definitely dated.
Did a lot of ethnicities too.
Yeah, that's something I did not do.
Did a lot of ethnicities. I dated a lot.
I dated a lot, but I dated like a lot of the same type of person.
I was like, I dated so many. I'm like Russian, black mixed, biracial, Ecuadorian, Dominican. I was going through all the nations.
I wasn't. I stayed like in the Caribbean.
I was like, I didn't stay in the Caribbean. I even went to like United Nations.
I mostly stayed in the Caribbean.
I did not.
Mainly.
I was like, I'm gonna try all of this, and I'm not saying that like sexually, but just
sexually.
I mean, if that's your prerogative.
Yeah, sexually.
We're not judging you.
Mm-hmm.
I think that
this podcast is sexually free.
It is, but I think that we need to be a little bit more focused on like what take from those experiences. Like if something was toxic, you recognize that it was toxic, and then all right, what was toxic about it, and let's not repeat it.
Yeah, I also feel like one thing big in your 20s, everybody needs a whole phase.
That is so needed.
Everybody, I don't care. Listen to me, Brenda. I'm looking right at you, Brenda. If you have a high school sweetheart, break up with him. Or dump him. No, dump him. Brenda, you're going to dump this man. You are going to, it is still July, you are going to have a hot girl summer.
That is so needed.
You are going to hop from dick to dick.
Woo.
You are going to go to dinners. You are going to go to happy hours. You're going to go to brunches. You are never going to bring your wallet.
Forget it. Don't even make the pretend like.
No, do not. You're not going to, Brenda, listen to me. You do not bring your wallet. Just bring your ID. And live a hot girl summer. A man tells you, you know what? I want to fly you out of Mexico, bitch. The passport's right there. Brenda, have a passport.
Yeah.
And then have that shit. Come September, start like slowing down. October is a little warm. So November, call your high school sweetheart and be like, hey, I am back. And get back with him. And that is what you do, Brenda.
I think
you have a hot girl summer. You leave that man right now.
High school sweethearts are beautiful in a sense, very notebooky. But I think that a woman should be, or a man, doesn't have to be, or either one, or whatever you identify with, live your life. You don't ever want to think like, damn, I didn't do that. What would have been if it would have been this way?
Yeah, you want to try different sexual stuff, different shapes,
Yo, I even
sizes.
dated like a drug dealer one time. Like,
Yeah.
live your life. Like, who's gonna tell you that you have to Glock?
You just miss dating a woman.
I've kissed a woman, but not dated a woman.
Missed opportunity. You're in your 30s. But Brenda, you date a woman.
Date a woman.
But you need
date
to
everybody that you feel
There's
attracted.
nothing like I was only with my high school sweetheart and we're married and now like I'm craving something new.
I got a comment.
What?
Those are the ones that have the on the low affairs.
100%.
When they're
whether it's girls, whether it's women or men.
Yeah, they've been with one person for a long time and they get curious about dating somebody else. And they're like, you know what? I'm going to have this little affair on the side because I never tasted or I never had this person or I'm curious about it.
They listen.
You know one thing I tell my man? I say, have you ever had a threesome? Uh-huh. And they say, no.
Go have one.
Go have one. I'll be here when you come back. But get that shit out of your system because it's not going to happen with me.
I'm more flexible.
Like, it's not going to happen with me.
But to me, Brenda, or just whoever else is listening.
Who we want to name her, Maria?
Who's Brenda's friend? Karen?
Karen. I know, but Karen sounds very...
The reason why I'm able to, in my 31 years of life, be celibate for this 1 year I'm trying to accomplish is because I have gotten flipped like a pancake for the past 10 years. I have been swung up and down.
A pancake? I want to be a tissue.
I have been swung up and down for the last, 10, 15, no, not like that. Maybe 10, 12 years. I have been swung up and down. So I am taking a break. He's tired. But Brenda, you're not tired. You are a spring chicken.
You can go out there. You can date. Let a man... And also, set some standards for these men. Mm-hmm. Because I feel like when I was dating, even in my early 30s, these men were trying it.
They still do.
They still do. And you have to set a boundary of oh, I want to take you out, but where we're going. You want to take me to a nice Italian restaurant? Not a problem. I'm very flexible too. I'll meet you there.
Yeah.
Especially if I don't know you like that. You're not getting my home address. But don't think that you're about to take me down the street to El Malecón or what is it? Caridad.
Oh, you know.
It's fine. I do pre-dates.
Oh, you do pre-dates?
I do pre-dates. I see if we vibe. We don't have to spend no money. I'll meet you at a park. I'll meet you at a pier. If we're not vibing and we're not able to have a conversation, I'm not giving you 2 hours at a dinner. Mm-hmm. I'd rather go spend 2 hours and having lunch or dinner with you, with my friends that's going to make me go.
That's true. So one of my friends told me this advice was, she's happily married. You go, girl. She said, when you start dating, Brenda, this is for you. Or for guys, Brandon.
I know, but
whatever your name is. Jose. When you start dating, just give people the weekdays. Don't ever give people your weekends. Weekends are for your friends. So start somebody off on a Tuesday. Mm-hmm. And then you like them maybe the Wednesday. Once you know you really like them, that's when you give them a Friday. If you give somebody a date on a Friday, that means wow.
He made it.
They made it. They're good. They're going into Saturday. And once you do Saturday, you're sleeping over and you're waking up Sunday in their bed.
Flipped like a pancake.
That's how it works. But yeah, they date a lot. Date different people. That's one thing. I did date a lot.
I dated a lot, different ethnicities.
Drink a lot of water.
Drink a lot of water.
Yeah.
That's one thing. I wrote down a few things here of lessons, and you can give me a little input on what you think.
Okay.
I wrote down focus on friendships and relationships that give you the same effort that you give.
Yeah.
But I also feel that we need, as humans, we need to learn trials and tribulations about friendships and about relationships to be able to grow from it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I feel like one lesson that I learned is that for you to get a good friend, you have to be a good friend.
Oh, I love that.
And, you're going to go through, especially when you go through, your early 20s, you go through, your party phase. You have, your party friends.
Oh, yeah.
And just make sure, your party friends are your party friends. And then you have, your main ones, unless they all combine.
that I was gonna say. I was like, your main friends of partying may not be the same friend
that you go to when you're heartbroken.
When you're heartbroken, or when you have something going on at 3 o'clock in the morning, and you need a friend to go what is it?
Scratch somebody's car.
Yeah. You.
I'm that friend.
But that's something you have to distinguish within yourself. Do you want to have separate friend groups, or does this one friend can do all of these things for you, and you might, have.
I actually think you should have separate friend groups.
I think you should too.
I think like you shouldn't just bank on like these are just my girls. Like have your girls. Like they're never not gonna be your girls if they're your girls. But like have your friends that you go out to like clubs with, and your girls don't really want to, and enjoy that clubbing friend.
Exactly.
Have your friend that likes brunch. Have your friend that likes to go to like the what is that called, Broadway?
Yeah, to musicals.
Like
to
musical,
Broadway,
like just enjoy
movies.
Take every experience you can in your 20s and just absorb it, like enjoy.
And your true friends will show themselves.
Also, when you're 20, you don't really sleep a lot. Like you don't need sleep.
You don't. I remember one time I went out. I got home at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I worked at my dad's bodega at 7:30 a.m. I cannot do that now.
No.
I need 5 hours at least.
I remember I used to work in retail, and I don't know why the stores are open on January 1st. Like, who shops there?
Oh yeah.
Anyway, I had to open that shift, and I went straight from the New Year's party I was at straight to work at 9 in the morning with the New Year's outfit. And who the fuck was going to tell me something? Nobody. I was there.
He rolled in with the same blazer.
The same sparkly blazer.
Don't be afraid to go for what you want. Even if you're afraid, you need to fake it.
Yeah.
That's a big one that I even say now. I'm like, even if you feel that like you may not be qualified for a job, if they're giving you an opportunity, they believe in you enough.
Especially when you're 20, nobody's qualified.
That's what I'm saying. Internships is so important.
Yeah, but even like, just when you're in your early 20s, nobody's qualified. Everybody's faking it. Just you fake it too.
Exactly. And if you get the opportunity, take the opportunity. Don't fumble it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you're in your 20s. Because I feel like a lot of opportunities that are growth and like career-wise do come at your 30s.
Mm-hmm.
But in your 20s, if you get the opportunity to actually, be in the career that you want, fucking take advantage of it. Fake it. You look up some YouTube, do some research.
I also have one more advice for people in their 20s that I don't think I was given in my 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Like, switch jobs. Don't be afraid to like don't give your whole 20s to one company.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's 10 years. Even if you start after college, which is like what, 22, 23?
Yeah.
So 30, that's 8 years. Like, switch jobs. Like, give yourself like a 2-year, 3-year per job and evaluate. Like, am I being valued here? Go to another job. Like, figure it out. Go to a different company. That's how you also figure out what you want in life. I think one of my things that I fucked up, refer back to episode Toxic Workplace. I worked for 7 years at one company.
Yeah.
Literally I think it was most like till I was 30.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was till I was 30. Right?
Yeah.
Something like that. Well, it doesn't matter. I worked for that company till I was 30, and like I really wasn't valued for 7 years. If I would have switched twice from a job, I probably would have been where I'm at now at like 28, not at going to be 32.
Yeah.
So just try different jobs. Like, don't be afraid to leave.
There's better things out there, and sometimes they're not, but you will figure it out. Like,
but if they're not, there's always a stepping stone.
Exactly.
Like, you might go from your job to a job that you don't like, but that you need that job you don't like to get to a future job that is going to make you happy.
Exactly. Like, let's say, for example, like you work for like a big company like Facebook, and then you hate it because you don't like the culture there, but just take the opportunity to be there for a whole year. You know how good it looks for you to be saying like, oh, you had worked at Facebook, and you know that it's a very large company. So that means that you have to be on your A game
Mm-hmm.
to be able to be there for a whole year and progress. So just, stick it out for maybe 1 year, and then just move on. That's what I used to do sometimes. And to be honest, I came into my current company for like, okay, I'm just going to be here for 1 year, and then I've been here for 5.
Yeah.
Because as they like me and they value me, they made it happen for me to feel comfortable to be there for 5 years and to grow. I think it goes back to what we were saying. Finding confidence in your voice and in your sexuality.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let anybody get in your head because you're not a size 2. So for me, I wrote that one because when I was in BMCC, I used to like this guy a lot. Like, he was like mentally stimulating, and he was not the greatest good looking guy. Like, my best friend at the time, she was like, girl, like, he's not that good looking. Mm-hmm. He was like Dominican, you know, like typical. And
toxic.
I liked him, but he was not expressing the same thing towards me. And then it was so fucked up because I went to an Aventura concert and he was there. And there was like this song like that Aventura sings talking about like, oh, yo la quisiera amar. Talking about like, to me, like,
he wants to love you.
He would like to love me the way that I love him, but it's not there.
Uh-huh.
So he had a high school sweetheart or somebody in his past that
Brenda.
he really liked.
Brenda.
And basically, like, he was telling me, like, I really like that girl. I don't like you. Like that, in that way, to give you a relationship.
You smacked him?
No. I know.
Missed opportunity.
Missed opportunity.
Brenda,
but it's okay because,
if you ever want to smack
honest,
somebody, Brenda, just smack the shit out of them.
But it's okay because after that, I was like, you know what? Why am I over here stressing about a person that does not value me the same way that they value somebody else? Mm-hmm. Obviously, they don't see my worth. They don't see the type of person that I am. And it's just not worth it. And I just felt that he liked a certain type of girl and I was not his girl.
Yeah.
And I'm not for everybody, and that's fine. But that took me a long time for me to learn that I'm not everybody. I'm not for everybody. And that's okay.
I think the same thing. I dated a lot, like I said earlier. But I think I also, in my early 20s, I was just like dating. I tried to make a lot of relationships work that I just tried.
No business.
They had no business they had no business being with them. But I really tried to make it work because I was like at some point, like, I date a lot, but then you also like kind of blur the lines of like, I'm dating, but like I need to have a partner. Especially when you get like, your early 20s is very like, you know, Brenda, be a hoe. And then after 25, like, your friends start to settle down. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if you're like the odd one out, you start to be like, I need to settle down too. Mm-hmm. And you start trying to make relationships work that you have no business making it work. And I think I fell victim to that like certain people I tried to make work a little harder because I also wanted to be in the relationship crew.
Yeah.
But it's something that I learned that like, I love not being in a relationship.
To be honest, when I was single in my 30s, I really enjoyed being the third wheel within the couple.
Oh, I love.
I'm like, I don't have to like be with this person and he's like bringing me a drink or he's like be like, oh, you're okay, or come with me.
I love going out with couples because if I go out with 5 couples, I have 5 boyfriends.
They're all taking care of us.
They're all taking care of me. I have 5 boyfriends. They all make sure I'm fine. Like
my current boyfriend, he's like, if Estee goes with us, he needs to make sure we can't just let him go with somebody else. And I'm like, no, déjelo.
And yeah, let me go.
And he's like, no, we need to make sure that he's safe. And I was like, he want to be a hoe. Like, let him be a hoe. I was like, all we could do is put an ear tag on him or share his location with us and let him be a hoe and maybe possibly pick him up after he gets his cheeks clapped.
Claps.
But
yeah, I love being a 5th wheel.
I love it.
Like, these men just take care of me.
They value you.
They feel bad. Like,
no, they don't feel bad. I feel like my boyfriend really.
No, they don't feel bad, but it's like, help me, I'm single. And they're like, he's single. Let's just help him with his bags. Let's carry his luggage. And I'm like, help me, I'm single.
At the outlet.
Help me, I'm single.
With the outlets.
Yeah.
When he was like,
let me carry your bag to the car. Thank you, I'm single.
One thing that I did not take advantage of, and was not the great at, is saving money.
Oh, girl, what is a savings account? Like especially like if you work the jobs that we work, like you guys are lucky. I fucking showed up to work with clothes because we were so severely underpaid.
No, we were. It was disgusting.
Like you guys are lucky.
When minimum wage was $7.25.
$7.25. You guys are lucky I showed up wearing clothes and not pajamas. You're lucky I showed up. But I did not save any money until like late 20s.
That's true.
And then I bought a car and I blew all my money. But, investment.
Investment, because at least you're riding nicely.
Yeah, and it's my car. It's not leased. But yeah, like I didn't start to save money until I was like 28.
It's true. Like being financially literate is, I wish that they would teach those things in high school.
Yeah.
And like how, credit scores, I feel like a credit score is more valuable right now
than cash
that you have in your bank account. So, please take in consideration like savings, because all of a sudden something happens, like for you, like if something happens to your car, God forbid, you have your savings and you're like, all right, I need to fix this shit like ASAP. Mm-hmm. So how am I going to get around?
Yeah.
So, one thing that I now appreciate now that I'm in my 30s is being nice to your parents.
Yeah, I'm still working on it.
Being nice with your parents, because those are the memories that you have with them and they're everlasting in your mind. I say this more because I have friends that their parents have passed away, and it's just so hard for them to, like when it's Mother's Day or like it's Christmas or like it was their mom's birthday, and it's just so hard, and they just remember those good times. I know that like there were some bad times. Like, I have bad times with my own mom, but at the same time, I'm trying to put in the effort of like making good memories.
I love when me and my mom's gossip sessions.
Oh yeah.
Where she goes like, ¿Quieres saber chisme? And I'm like, let me get a little coffee.
Okay, ya voy.
Y me siento un tinto.
Can you guys invite me?
Mm-hmm. And we talk shit about our family.
Talking about family, your aunt, what was your aunt or your cousin? The one that has a house in the Hamptons or Long Island?
Yeah, cousin.
She needs to invite us.
She does.
Because she invited us last year. I'll make mango.
Yeah. Should we take a break and then get back?
Yes, let's take a little break.
3. All right, guys, welcome back. We took a little break because we talked a lot of shit.
And we need a little thirst
refresher. So we're back.
By the way, thirst clenching is by Mamitas Tequila and
Soda. It's very good. This is not sponsored, but Mamitas, you should. This is very good. It gives you a light buzz. It's only 5% alcohol.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's
5% little, but it's a lot.
I think it's.
I'm saying like it's only 5%. I don't know what that means.
No, it's a little.
Okay.
Because I think like a lot is like 8 and more.
Okay.
So it's okay.
And the way we pour, it's 20%.
Yeah, but also because it's not too sweet. So please. Yeah. It's a good recommendation from us, and it's only 95 calories.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's get back
to our topic on what lessons or advice we would give our younger selves. Mm-hmm. So one I wrote down was find your passion or hobbies or enjoyment and do that excessively before responsibilities of being an adult take over. That's a really big one. Mm-hmm. I think I've learned that more towards my ends of my 20s, where I'm like, oh, like I actually like enjoy working out, or like I like a little stress reliever, or I like to push myself. When I was in college, I actually enjoyed painting. At first, I was like, damn, I would take painting, but then I actually enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. It was a good stress reliever for me. So, what would be like a good enjoyment for you?
I think what I didn't take advantage of, even though we made no money, was traveling.
Yeah.
In our early 20s, I feel like now I am like traveling now because I thankfully can afford it. But I feel like there's nothing like traveling in your 20s and just experiencing like like going away and like coming back home to your parents and having no bills, or like just paying a cell phone bill, like, or just getting those experiences that, now that we are grown adults to have a lot more responsibilities. Just
Rent.
travel, car payments, travel as much as you can. Travel with different people. You can't travel with everybody, but you're never gonna know
until you travel
until you travel with a person, and just explore the world. Like, start small. Start. Everybody's first trip is Miami. Start with Miami and then like work your way.
No, my first trip really as an adult and not my family was 20 or 21 years old. No, I was 20 years old. And I met this girl at BMCC. And she was like, I really want to do a cruise. And I was like, oh, I'm down. And we went on a cruise. First of all, we didn't do our research on the cruise line. It was like an older cruise line. It's called Princess. And we went to Bermuda, PR, Turks and Caicos. And there was one more island. I forgot. Bermuda, Turks and Caicos, PR. It was one more island. I forgot. And to be honest, it was like a great adventure. We got a room, shared it, had a balcony. It was my first experience, and I got my experience really early on. I took advantage of living with my mom, and she didn't I didn't really have to pay like a big bill, just like the cable bill and my cell phone bill. And I truly enjoyed it. It was not the best experience because it wasn't like the best cruise line, but just being on your own, not with your parents, and just doing what the fuck you want to do. And just, if you want to go to the beach, you go to the beach. If you want to eat, go out to eat. I had a great time. Like, it was one of the best experiences that I had by myself as an adult.
Mine was actually Miami.
Yeah?
I went to Miami when I was 19.
Not the one where you had a bed that you had to sleep with. We all had to sleep with somebody.
So I went to Miami with some friends, and I was 19 and everybody was over 21, and I had like 3 fake IDs, and I was like, nobody's stopping me. One of them has to get me in places. And yeah, it was 4 of us. We stayed in one hotel room. Again, like, not the best hotel, but
it's fine.
It did what it did. We slept there, and we just had a great time. We went out, we ate, we drank, we walked a lot. We got in a lot of trouble, as you said earlier. And yeah, we dated.
I mean, those are the experiences that you take with yourself when you're older. You're like, oh, I remember that one time.
Oh, we got kicked out of the Cleveland there.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that story. Our friend jumped in the pool when you're not supposed to, because you're not supposed to jump in the pool at the club. So yeah, she did that. We got kicked out. YOLO.
YOLO, fuck it. I fell asleep at the Cleveland there, but because I took a flight, and me and my friend, we fell asleep. Well, I took a muscle relaxer, a NyQuil. I really wanted to be like really relaxed for the flight, but I was just too relaxed.
Too relaxed.
Oh, and then that one time when I went to Miami, we went to a rooftop to the Clevelander, and then I look around, and my friend, I was like, where she's at? I call her, and she's like, look, she was like, oh, look over the rooftop, like the barrier. And
look down.
Look down. And she was like, she's with a whole man at another rooftop across from me. And I was like, bitch, what the fuck? So then I remember the girls, I went to sleep because I was tired. But the girls met some guys, and then they brought the guys back to the hotel. And my friend, she had these little chicken cutlets as breasts, like the breasts. And I guess she forgot, and then she went into the pool, and her
boobs were swimming.
Her chicken cutlets were swimming. Stories.
Yeah.
Vibe.
Travel, Brenda.
So
you have wisdom.
So then she was like, damn, like, I feel so embarrassed because I was trying to hook up with a guy,
and the guy did not care.
Yeah. But her chicken cutlets were definitely swimming around. So these are the stories that you take away.
Yeah.
And then one last one that I can say that as a 30-year-old, going through my own shit and unraveling my own traumas, is everyone carries traumas, but it's your responsibility to heal or grow from it. If you don't want to be your parents again?
Lord, yes.
So Lord, that was a lot.
Yeah.
I took that one away because as I'm growing and I've been through my own relationships and just like observing myself and my behaviors and my patterns, everybody has trauma. Everybody's been through some shit. Everybody. Like,
even if you had a 2-parent household.
If you had a 2-parent household, if you had every little financial thing that they can take care, they can, provide for you, even if they gave you the most love, in some way, somebody went through some trauma.
Yeah.
And because as parents, nobody's ever perfect. And everybody goes through shit, but don't stay there. Don't be your 10-year-old self throughout your whole life. It's your responsibility as a grown adult, if you want to heal, move on from that and recognize your trauma. It's not fair to the next person that's going to be with you, like, hey, by the way, like, this is how I am, and that's it. Like, you are responsible for your healing. And that's one really big thing. As a 20-year-old, recognize your patterns. If you're a person that's always arguing with your partner, that's toxic.
Or you just crave toxic men.
Or if you crave toxic men, please seek help, because obviously you had a very chaotic upbringing that you think that's normal. And you feel comfortable in chaos. So I would say that's one really big thing is recognize your trauma. Nobody's perfect. Everybody has something going on. If you feel that you're not being supported by your partner or by somebody or your friends, then maybe you need to find other people that can mentally stimulate you and challenge you. Agreed. But to close out this lovely episode, I would want us to think back to our 20-year-old selves and say a funny story. Oh my God, how many do I have? So many. I'll start. So when I turned 20, first of all, when I turned 18, a bitch was out Friday, Saturday, Sunday because my mom was like on a leash. She was like, you're not going out at 15. If ACS get called, then it's my problem. So I was like, all right, no problem. So I would go out. Once I turned 18, I would go out Friday, Saturday, Sunday. She already knew the routine. I would tell my dad where I was going in case something happened to me. One time, actually, I saw him at the red light and he was going out too. So one time for my 21st birthday, me and my friends will always go to this club uptown called Vintage, which now is called Made in Mexico, I think. Oh, that's what that is. Yeah. And we rented out like a whole section. We got bottles. I got fucked up. And all I remember at the end of the night was I stepped down on some stairs and my shoe broke. So as you guys can see, this has been happening for a long time. The breaking of the shoe. My shoe broke and my cousin carried me out. He put me in the car and he was like, bitch, you're going home. So that was one very memorable, 21st birthday. That was intense. But I had a great time and I have memories for days. I do too. What is a big memory? I'm trying to think of I have a 21st birthday, which something similar happened to me. No, but you took it to the next level. I went to this one club. It was called the Z Hotel. Here, in Queens. Astoria. Somewhere over there. And so the same thing. I got a section. We had bottles. I invited my best friends, and we all went. We were drinking heavily. We were drinking Ciroc. We drank a lot. We drank more than 2 bottles. I think we drank 4 or 5, maybe 4. I got wasted. I do not remember half of the night. I don't remember half of the night either. I bought a pair of shoes. They were studded loafers because they were going to complete my outfit, and I needed to have them for the outfit. It was the look I had. The loafers, I ended up having to get a size and a half bigger because they didn't have my size. Okay. So they were big. When I blacked out, eventually I had to be carried in to the car. Somehow, one shoe fell off. Because they fit you big. They fit me big, and the shoe fell off mid-club. I was taken outside with one shoe and one shoe missing.
whatever. I was taken to my friend's house. We slept over, and the shoes missing. And they were brand new, and they were not cheap. And I had to call the next day and be like, "Hi, I was there last night. I lost the shoe. If you guys happen to find the shoe with studs, if I
That's
can
me.
come pick it up." They never fucking called me. So I never got my shoe. I also lost my passport. I lost my ID. I lost my phone.
All in one night?
All in that 21st birthday. And the shoe. And my vergüenza.
No, porque la vergüenza dejaste en la casa.
Yeah.
Bueno. That was traumatic.
Yes.
But funny as fuck, because I imagine a bum walking around with a stiletto as one shoe.
Yeah.
Well, one question I want to leave out to the audience is, Brenda.
Yes.
What advice would you give your 21-year-old self? It doesn't have to be, it can be love, it can be friendship, it can be growth, it can be career, finances, anything. But please leave your comment in the comment section or in the podcast section or on YouTube.
Or DM us.
Or DM us. What advice would you give your 21-year-old self?
And Brenda, leave that man.
That man's toxic.
Leave that man. If he's your high school sweetheart, take a break. Take a break. It is July 7th, 6th. You can still have a hot girl summer.
It's early.
Leave that man, Brenda, and pick him back up in November. He will still be there, I guarantee you. If
you the shit, Brenda,
he will be there in November waiting, arms open.
Exactly. Live your life, Brenda.
All right. Follow us on all socials. They're all in the descriptions. And
thank you so much for following us, talking to us, sending us messages. Please share with your friends if you find us hilarious and a great way to start your day or a great way to end your day.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Until next time.